Today's question is, what are the methods of separating mixtures? You already know that mixture is made up of two or more substances combined by physical means. Its components are simply mixed together, which is why they can also be separated by simple means. Here are the basic separation techniques of mixtures. Sieving. It is the procedure used to separate mixed particles of various sizes. When baking, you use a sifter to sieve the flour, sugar, and other dry ingredients. By doing this, you may use only the fine particles and eliminate the lumps. Picking. It is a simple way of separating the components of a mixture by using either your hands or tools such as tongs. For example, before cooking rice, you would most likely use your hands to remove the rice hull or tiny stones. Using a magnet. A magnet can be used to separate metallic paper clips from little beads if you have a mixture of both. If one of the components has a magnetic property, using a magnet is an effective method. Centrifugation. It is a method that uses centrifugal force to separate specific solid components. The centrifuge machine takes in mixtures and spins them in a tube at a defined speed. Denser components sink to the bottom following centrifugation. For example, when blood samples are put in the centrifuge, the components of the blood can be separated. Chromatography. It is a process of separating the components into mobile and stationary phases. To separate the components of the mixture, the mobile phase passes through the stationary phase. Chromatography comes in numerous forms. For example, paper chromatography is the most basic. Vinegar, rubbing alcohol, denatured alcohol, or water can all be used as the solvent or mobile phase in paper chromatography. The porous chromatography paper is the stationary phase. Chromatography is used to separate the ink. Decantation. It is the process of separating the components by allowing the insoluble substance to settle, which allows you to pour out the liquid. For example, the separation of sand and water using decantation. Evaporation. This process separates the liquid component from the dissolved solid particles by converting it into gas. For instance, you may heat a salt solution in an evaporating dish. After a while, the water evaporates, leaving the salt crystals in the dish that is evaporating. Filtration. It is the process of separating the insoluble particles from a liquid using a porous material such as a filter paper. The liquid that passes through the filter paper is called filtrate, and the solid substance left in the filter paper is called the residue. The filter paper is folded many times in a special way and placed in the funnel. The mixture is then allowed to pass through. For example, brewing coffee involves filtration. Hot water is poured into the ground coffee and a filter. The liquid coffee is the filtrate. Distillation. This method is used for separating the components of homogeneous liquid mixtures with different boiling points. The mixture is placed in a flask and then heated. The component with the lowest boiling point boils first and evaporates. The gas is then cooled using a condenser, which forms a liquid called a distillate. The distillate is collected in another flask.